There folks, SeKo Starcraft here. Had to quickly start and stop a replay. Somebody decided to cut lumber right out in front of my house there for whatever reason. So I had to close the window, so it's going to get scorching. It's like 27 degrees in this house, but it's like 30-some degrees outside. So I'm making do with the summer heat. Drinking myself a Rider Cider, casting some Starcraft. We have Solar versus Deer. A couple of Koreans going at it. I have no idea where this replay came from. But we're going to check it out anyways, because I recognize the names. These are two really top level players. Can't remember if they're both Code S or not. For some reason I think Solar is in there. Not quite up on what is on with that. But it is going to be on King Sejong, which I love watching from high level. ZVP, get some really great games on this map. Maybe we're going to have a Forge expand here out of Deer. Maybe a little cannon play? Maybe. Overlord's flying across. Actually might just be a flat out Nexus first. That would be pretty baller. No, he is growling down there. So that'd be a little too baller. Koreans, though they are awesome at macro, love to throw in their cheese. So it's pretty risky if you're just going to straight up Nexus first in a two-player map. Party hats still in effect. Actually quite like those. Everybody's got their own distinctive party hats on there. But I was listening to somebody then, yes, the Terran party hats do kind of look like wizard hats. It is a hatch first on this side, but there is a drone down here ready to spot for this probe coming in. So it looks like Solar is ready for just about everything. Actually blocks the probe for a second. Is he gonna go for it? He is. Whoa. Now that. Oh wow, that's not a full wall. That was an expensive waste. And Nexus now. Well, that wasn't planned out super well. That surprises me a lot when you see something like that happen. Because yes, you can find a couple of good sweet spots to pile on yourself in, then get your cannons down. And what you really want to do is be able to control the ramp. It used to be just about cannon rushing behind there and catching by surprise. Now it's not even about catching by surprise. It's more about can you get yourself those cannons down and just deny as much of the worker opportunities. Where did that probe go? Is he still alive? Still scouting around with this drone. The probe is returning home, so that cannon rush failed. Lost 75 minerals for his efforts. Not as big of a deal as if he would have lost all those, you know, pylons and cannons because it just wasn't in the right spot. So, good thing to cancel, cut your losses, head back home and macro up. But his opponent behind the Solar feels super comfy, scouting out a couple lings, going up to his 3 hatches. Overlords are flying through the bases. He knows the timing of essentially everything here. Cybernetic score is just going down now, so these Overlords are going to have free reign. It'll be a while before anything comes up. Thinking it might be a Stargate. A couple of gases already building up, and the Cybernetic score isn't even finished. So he's going to have a big bank of gas when he's finished. Maybe a Robo. Use it to go with some Immortals. The old classic Soul Train parting attack. I think that'd be a little bit too delayed though. Another Queen in production will go up to the 3. Worried about those injects first before he gets the creep. Feels very safe. I'm kind of a coward, so I like getting my creep out really soon. You know, when I don't have actually the resources to spend my larva. Oh, don't die for nothing. I'm thinking, yeah, there's the Stargate. I'm thinking this might be just a Stargate expand. Maybe get out a couple of Void Rays, come down here, take your 3rd fairly safely, macro up from there. The Zerg player hasn't really tipped his hand yet with his tech. Is just really starting to get more of his gases now. Focusing mostly on just droning up. Very Snoot style. Love the late gas play. Didn't get those till after he was at 40 supply. So it'll be a while before he's even at lair tech. He did see that Stargate, I'm pretty certain. Yeah, you can see the red dot that, oh, he's coming back in for another swipe just to make sure. And we should be able to see him actually, yeah, I'll click on that. Well, he actually would like to see what's coming out of that. He should have seen that it is an Oracle. Does start the spores. Oracles are kind of like Phoenixes in that they almost are going to guarantee get damage in. There's almost nothing you can do about that. But still just going to drone up super heavily. I believe an Oracle can take on a Queen one-on-one as well, which is why you kind of need to have that Spore as backup. Otherwise it sucks to lose your Queen in the early stages of the game. Got the double evos going down. Still no Roach Warren, no Lair. So I'm wondering if he is going to just drone up heavy, maybe move into Ling Muta. I do like me some Ling Muta. Snipes a couple of Zerglings. Actually, he's gotten a handful there. He's gotten up to 4. Denying that creep tumor would be nice. Doesn't commit to it. Surprisingly enough, to spend the energy to get that creep tumor, I think would be a worthy investment of energy. Not many creep tumors that are out here right now. Mostly worried about getting them injects in, so he only has a couple of active creep tumors. And it is the good old Stargate expand. More Lings on the way. When we look at our units tab, we can see the Zerg player is already up over 60, he's going to be up over 70 workers here in a second. So he's about to be exactly where he wants to be, I guess you could say. 7 kills, looks like he maybe picked off 3 probes or so, got out of there with his life. Extra gas is going down on all the bases. He's droned up to the max. He is focusing on the melee upgrades, so something tells me this is going to be a muta-based play. And that always is surprising for me when there's already a Stargate down. But if you can get out, 8 mutas or something like that, before they can get out, 3 or 4 phoenixes, you can do a lot of damage. Void Rays over here, just going to patrol around, look for some overlords to kill. So I'm actually... both players in a pretty good position. Deer does have his 3rd base down, quite well saturated. Good target firing on the Zerglings. I don't think he got too many there. Let's take a look. Yeah, 3 for 3. I don't think he got 1 more there, but he did lose all of his Zerglings to get 4 probes. Roach Warren, Infestation Pit, and Spire. Very interesting mix there, keeping all of his options open. He might wait to see what the tech commitment is out of his opponent before he decides. Right now, all we know is he's got lots of gateways. There's his first robo going down. Twilight is getting his blinks. Will be a very gateway-heavy army with a little bit of Stargate to back it up. But that's not necessarily a really strong army. We can see the gas starting to pool right now for Solar. I'm thinking it's going to be to get out a big pile of mutas. That's what my heart's telling me. Sometimes you got to follow your heart. Nice grab on the sentries. Actually, is he going to get all of them? That's such a big deal. To people who don't follow a lot of Protoss play, if you lose all of your sentries like that, you need those sentries to stick around and build up resources. +1 zealots are going to carve through these Zerglings here. That was a bit of a waste. Actually might have caught at least a couple more zealots if we stuck around, but... these, well, they're 1-1 Zerglings now. Actually, it's going to be swarmhosts. I'm not too sure if I'm a fan of that or not. Unless he's going to throw down a Nidus network, he's not going to be able to really use those swarmhosts as part of aggressive play. Lots of gateways going down right now. Tons of swarmhosts. Great economy. Static defenses. Creep spread's not that great out of Solar. Focused a lot more on just getting enough queens out for injects. You see a lot of particularly North American and European Zerg players will get out lots and lots of extra queens so that creep is moving along a lot faster. You can see that Solar is just really trying to keep Deer in his base while he gets his swarmhosts into position. And that's why I think if he committed more to his creep spread, it'd probably all the way up to this base here by now. And then he's got a really easy attack move, well not attack move, like locust position to start sieging this up. If he loses these now, he's going to be in a terrible position. There's no observer, no, there is an observer with this army. Stalkers blink forward, but into a pretty terrible spot. He's still focusing on the melee upgrades. And he's actually moved into mutas now. That is actually a really interesting commitment. He's getting his opponent to go into Colossus and Thermal Lance, whereas his next move is going to be into 17 mutas. That's so rough. This is what you get at the top level of play. This is some sexy, sexy play here. Just enough swarmhosts to force his opponent to really kind of panic about what's happening. Even a second robo going down, whereas the real army is going to be these mutas, and there's nothing in place to deal with the mutas right now. He'd be throwing down 2 other Stargates right now if he knew this is what's about to hit him in the face. This is about to suck horribly. We'll pick off that really quickly. Lots of gateways, so he will get a lot of production down of Stalkers, but it's still a lot of +1 mutas. +2 attack on the Stalkers, so I mean, that's decent. Protoss army's just gonna GG right out. A little disappointing. I want to see that go a bit further, but once he lost those defenses, he had the wrong tech moving into double robo, no defenses at home, no cannons, no extra stargates, and this army is pretty small. He could have maybe sent it home, but it was he was on a clock, particularly with the swarmhosts out. Really phenomenal play out of Solar there. SeKo Starcraft, thanks everybody for watching. I'll talk with you later.